Welcome to the sun today for the 13th of April 2025. We've had another bumper crop of flares today. This is an image taken in the 1600 angstrom ultraviolet continuum by the AIA instrument on the Solar Dynamics Observatory. The two dark areas near the limb are sunspots, and the bright area is the actual flare itself. So this channel is particularly useful in telling us where the flares are occurring within an active region. A quick overview of solar activity today. The sunspot number dropped further to about 100. We had no new sunspot regions appear on the sun, either over the limb or on the disk. Flare activity, as I said, remained high. We had 8 C flares and 10 M flares. Still no X flares. And 6 coronal mass ejections, which is down a little from yesterday. The solar wind speed dropped to 450 kilometers per second. Let's take a quick look at where the sunspots are. We had 5 regions on the disk. You can see that 4055 is just on the west limb and will probably disappear in the next day or two. We have 4 other minor regions on the disk. 4060 is the next largest and may produce some flares in the near future. But you could just see on the east limb there, shown with this orange arrow, that there seems to be some very large bright structures just behind the limb. So I'm hoping that the new sunspot region will appear somewhere near the equator in the next day or two. The sunspot area overall was 1100 millionths of the surface area of the sun, and that is about the same as it was yesterday. Geospace was a little bit quieter. The KP index shown here on the left has dropped from about 4 down to about 2. And if you look at the model for the auroral arc, you can see it also looks rather similar to yesterday, which is not very exciting. So we're not expecting a geomagnetic storm in the next 24 hours or so. In contrast to that, the soft X-ray emission seems to still be very active. We've had all those M flares and C flares today. And the X-ray background is at C3, which is a little down from yesterday, but still quite high. I'm surprised that we haven't had an X flare from this region, but there's still a little bit of time left before it disappears over the limb, so keep your fingers crossed. Coronal mass ejection activity. We had 6 coronal mass ejections recorded by SOHO today, and this is a movie showing the C2 and C3 fields of view of the activity from the last 2 days. Note about halfway through there's a halo CME, which means we might be getting a CME impact in the next day or two. Now for the fun part, the forecast for tomorrow. The sunspot number will be lower as we lose those 2 regions over the west limb. The flare rate as a consequence will likely decline somewhat as those flares are occurring on the far side and we won't see them. We won't as those flare rate will decline. The solar wind speed will fall to more normal levels, around about 400 kilometers per second. And geomagnetic storms are at least unlikely tomorrow, but because of that halo CME, we may get one in a couple of days' time. Once again, thank you for listening. If you enjoy these videos, please pass them on to friends or neighbors or relations who you think might benefit from understanding more about how the sun works. And so until next time, stay safe and goodbye.